Hey, it's Michelle coming to you with some kitchen inspiration. I got lots of tomatoes this week. So I grabbed a sweet onion from the grocery store and I'm making tomato pie. So it says to do it on a pie plate, but I had so many tomatoes. This is 4 tomatoes. Look how many it turned into. So the first step was I grabbed some big cutting boards and I put some paper towels on them, sliced my tomatoes and I salted them and then I let them sit for an hour to 2 hours. It's been about an hour and a half. I also sliced half of my sweet onion and I salted that and it's drying on some paper towels. And then I chiffonade, which means cut long and skinny like this, my basil. Because I have so many, I decided to do this in my 9x13 size stoneware, my rectangular baker, and I used like 1 3/4 pie crusts. The other thing that I have here is a mixture of 1 cup of shredded cheddar, 1 cup of shredded mozzarella, 1 cup of mayonnaise, and some salt and pepper. Okay, so that's the basics. I had to pre-cook the crust because this is a very wet recipe. So you have to pre-cook the crust so that it will not ooze its way through. Okay, so you pre-cook it most of the way. And then we're gonna layer in our first layer of tomatoes here. So it's supposed to be 3 layers of tomatoes, and now that I'm looking at this, I'm very glad that I decided to put this in this pan instead of the pie plate, because no way it was going to fit in the pie plate. Okay, put that in. This is a sweet onion, so like a Vidalia, or in the rest, Vidalias in where I live are only in the spring, but this was labeled sweet onion. They're bigger than regular onions. I took the other half and I sliced it up and I put it in a Ziploc bag and I put it in the freezer for next time I make this, since I only needed half this time. All right, so putting in a layer of onion. I wouldn't recommend using a regular onion to do this. I think the pie is going to taste completely different. And I'm going to sprinkle on, oops, I forgot a step. Just realized I forgot a step. This step is not in the original recipe, but my friend Nicole, who made it, said that it really helped her pie. She said to take a little bit of flour and sprinkle it on each layer, because that will soak up some any of residual liquid that comes out. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again. So this is pretty simple. So I'm just gonna layer them up. And then, I cut them relatively thin. They're not super, super thin. I just cut them with my regular knife, kind of as thin as I could do it with a knife. So once these are all layered up in here, then I'm going to cover it with the mayonnaise and cheese mixture. And then it's going back into the oven for another 35 minutes to cook the rest of the way. And then this is just a really nice addition. I guess you could eat it as a main dish. We're eating it as a side dish with some barbecue ribs. I made our root beer rib recipe. If you have not made that recipe, it's so good. It's so simple. You just use some root beer. I didn't have root beer, so I used Sprite. It really is about the acid in the soda. It's not really about the root beer. So it'll change the flavor a little bit. But I used some of our barbecue rub and a couple small cans of Sprite. So about 12 ounces of soda of any variety, because you need the acid is what you need. And I put that in my rock crock Dutch oven in the slow cooker, and it's been cooking since I got home from church. So it's been in there for about 4 hours. So I'm probably gonna leave another half an hour. Then I'm gonna pull them out and put, sorry, I can't talk and work at the same time, obviously. Then I'm gonna pull them out, put them on one of my sheet pans, put some barbecue sauce on them, because they didn't have any barbecue sauce on them, because you lose the barbecue sauce to the soda, so that's a waste, so don't even do it. So I'm gonna put them on my sheet pan, I'm gonna brush them with some barbecue sauce, whatever kind you like, and then I'm gonna put them under the broiler for just a few minutes to kind of crisp them up. I like to cook them this way because they get really, really gooey. They just fall off the bone, which I love. So we're gonna have that and the tomato pie and some corn on the cob, and that's it. hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, please share with your friends. Thanks for joining me.